Well, we're off work for the day. We're heading over to the farm. Gonna shoot the what I carry in my backpack video. Basically the stuff that I take out while I'm hunting and the stuff that I use before I go hunting. So we're gonna go over there. It's kind of a nice day. A little chilly, not too bad though. Probably gonna set the spotting scope, just kind of get some eyes out in the fields. I haven't been over here since Monday. I haven't been over to the farm since Monday, and today's Thursday. So it's been a couple days and just want to see what's moving. Not getting much on camera. I'm only seeing does. Haven't seen really any bucks other than a spike or two in a while, so I guess we're heading towards the end of the season. I mean, what is today? December 14th. That could be a late rut, but the weather's been so erratic this year in Tennessee. In regards to, it's been hot, it's been cold, and nothing's consistent. We went from like 60 degrees to 30, back up to 60 with rain, and it's been one of those years where like it's a challenge. It's a real challenge to, you know, pattern the deer. But it's fine. I haven't seen many coyotes on camera. A few here and there, and we had a bear on camera for the first time in a couple of years at the top of the farm by the power lines. So that'd be kind of cool. I have to check, but I'm pretty sure bear season's out anyway until next year, but I hope he keeps roaming around. We got a lot of deer anyway, so he's got plenty of food. Not worried about the deer population too much for a predator. Would love to get a bear though. I've never taken a bear. My father's gotten grizzlies and black bears, but I've been out hunting for black bear, but never never had a chance at one, never shot at one. So we'll see what happens. As I'm pulling in, I see a bunch of deer out in the dove field right now. And I see deer at the top of the hill. So I definitely want to get the spotting scope out and see what these are. They're probably just doe. But, oh, I got a bunch in front of me right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4, 5. That's a little spike. Oh, it's a little 4-point. That's a 4-point. That was a little 4-point right there. Wow, okay. I mean, it was small, but still, it's good to see the bucks are still moving around. I'm gonna get out here and check out what's going on here. Let's get these cameras up and let's get some eyes on some deer. I'm wearing my glasses today. Probably need to open this thing up a little bit more. Yeah, so we're gonna get the spotting scope set up here and then just kind of see what's moving on out here. So I got that high country too. Spotting scope. Seeing a bunch of deer already. I can see a good bit of them, so this is pretty cool. Probably could have done it upstairs, but so this is the thing I always use when I'm able to record it. When I'm out in the stand and stuff, being able to see it. Being able to see the deer at a long distance. But I can't do it without the scope, obviously. Here's our scope. Okay. Handy dandy. There we go. Now we're locked in. Oh, that looks like a buck. Yeah, it's a little spike. There's a little spike up there. Not the top of the hill, but closer towards, I guess it would be the clump of trees right down. There's a clump of trees right below the top of the hill where our redneck blind is. There's a clump of trees right below it. And he's right outside to the left of it, which would be in dove field. Little spike. He's tall spike, little spike. So there's a bunch of deer over in the dove field at the lower part, which you guys will see here on the video. I mean, there's 2 right there. There's one right there at the bottom left corner of the screen. They all look like doe though. What I need to do is move it farther out. So what I should do is move you guys farther out here to the side, and then I'm going to show you what they are out here. Maybe I get a better angle at them. Oh. The buck's back. The buck is back. The buck is back right outside here. He's a jacked up little buck. He's got like the one side, you can see it here, the one side's a little messed up. I don't know if it didn't grow properly, or maybe he's the son of the one I shot the year before. I mean, just for reference, I mean, he's only like 30 yards. I mean, he's right there. So first and foremost, I've been hunting deer for 16 years now. By no means is any of this perfect or the absolute best setup. This is what works for me, and I know this differs for people depending on what type of hunting you're doing, whether you're hunting public land, private land, what type of animal you're going after. So this is what I carry when I hunt for white-tailed deer at the farm, where I have access to be able to leave equipment and stuff and not always have to take it out into the field. But this is kind of what I take out. And I'll start off with one of the things that I think is pretty important, a headlamp. Especially when you're coming out late at night or going early in the morning or having to track a deer late at night, it is imperative to have a headlamp. I'm pretty sure everyone knows to have one in their backpack, but I always carry one as well, and I just feel like it should be known. The other small thing I keep up in the front is a wind indicator. I always need to be able to tell, especially during bow season, less so during rifle and muzzleloader, but moreover in bow season, I need to know which direction the deer are traveling. And this is just like chalk powder, and you may not be able to see that, but it's just powder coming out. That's what I like to carry as to know which wind direction. That's really just for bow hunting. Though it is important to know for rifle and muzzleloader. Before I go any further, I probably should mention the backpack I prefer. Just make sure I got the name right. It's the Q, I think you say it as Q. The Q Venture Divide 2000. I think it's awesome. I like it. To me, it works great because it expands, and I'm able to put like in the front pouches here. You can see how in the front here it expands out and have all these straps. You can strap on like your spotting scope, as you guys were seeing earlier, or my rifle or my bow on the back, which I really like. For me, that's perfect. The skeleton brace back here is super comfortable. And this is by means no way promoted by Q or their company or whatever. I don't even know them. I just bought this year because I saw it online and people said it was great. The straps around the waist are great. Plus I got pockets here, which I keep my gloves in and my mask in here. And during rifle season, I'll keep extra ammo in here as well. Plus the chest clip here, which is pretty good. So that's really the big thing I like about it. It's got you know, water bottle holders or coffee mug holders. So the next section I have is this front section here. It's like the first big part of it. And mainly what I keep in here is all my filming gear. All my filming stuff and everything goes in this front section here. I also keep, some people, you know, use it, don't use it, whatever. I keep gloves. Doctor's gloves, or they're like plastic or rubber or whatever. I don't want to get sick from gutting a deer. I know some people are like, it's not a big deal, gut it without gloves. Since I have the option to, not too far away from getting gloves, I just use gloves. Especially if I've got a nick or a cut in my hand from rolling jujitsu or lifting weights or something. I don't want to get deer blood in my system, so I just use gloves. And that's really about all I keep in this section. There's really not much. It's a pretty light pack. Like, it's not heavy at all. I don't like it heavy because I don't want to have to be carrying around a lot, because you're already carrying like your weapon, your binoculars, which I don't carry in my backpack. My binoculars are usually strapped to my chest, which, let me go grab this so you can see what I'm talking about. The system I use for binoculars are pretty simple. Just the Vortex case with the Vortex binoculars, and that's just on my chest. These are the Crossfire HDs 12x50s, which I got poor eyesight, so I like to have a more powerful lens. They weren't crazy expensive, and they get the job done, so this is what I really prefer. I don't include it as part of my backpack because I'm always wearing it on my chest. So let's get back into the big section here, where I keep most of the important stuff that I always take with me. I know this is part of your outfit, but I always carry a beanie in here, because I'm usually always wearing a hat, but a beanie, especially during rifle season and firearm season, because you know you gotta have your orange on. My orange vest I keep on my outfit, so it's never usually in my backpack, but that's something I would also put in. Camo mask, this thing is great for archery. It's lightweight. Again, it's from Q. I tried it out this year. Oh yeah. Rangefinder. I wish I had a 2-in-1 rangefinder, like the binoculars with the rangefinder, but I don't. This rangefinder is an old school one. It's a Leica rangefinder. It's big, it's bulky, it's old. I'm pretty sure my dad took this out on his first elk hunt way back when. Probably even when I was first born or before I was born. It's an older rangefinder, but it works great. I've only had to replace the battery once. Another thing I take out with me, which I probably could leave behind, but I always keep it in my pack, field dressing knives. It comes with 2 knives and a saw. And some people can field dress their deer, or like to field dress their deer using just knives and not a saw. I use a saw to open up the chest cavity. That's how I prefer to do it. I like to get as much airflow up in the chest cavity as possible after field dressing it when I hang it. You really don't need a saw. You could just use just a knife, and that's usually what I do for most of the time. I like this little pack I got from my grandfather a few Christmases ago. 2 knives and a saw. Works great. The butt out. This thing is great. I hate having to cut out the butt of a deer. So I just shove this thing in, the old 1-2, and pull everything out. Yes, it's exactly what it looks like. And yes, that's where it goes, and it works great for field dressing deer. I've been lucky. It's the only one I've had, and it hasn't broke yet. I see some wear and tear on it because I've used it on so many deer, but it still works great. I'll set it out here for now. You guys can gander upon it. Neck gaiter. It gets cold out there. I use this during when it's really cold, like rifle season, because if we don't get too much of cold weather during bow season here, so that's what I use for bow season. For rifle, I use the neck gaiter. Extra rope with a hook. Never know when you need to pull up something, pull up your, your firearm or your backpack on a stand or whatever. And even sometimes I got to use this to move a deer out of a gully or something. I got to wrap it around the antlers or its legs and be able to drag it out or hoist it up, move it around. So rope, pretty thick rope too. It's heavy. I probably don't need to use this thicker rope, but I do. I keep it around. And a hook. It works. It has multiple uses. And probably the most important thing in this pack, out of everything else, I like to keep is a first aid kit. There's always an instance of someone getting injured hunting. Hunting is by itself a very dangerous sport. Having a first aid kit, whether you fell out of stand or you got cut on a branch or you got attacked by an animal, you name it, it happens while hunting. I always keep a first aid kit. Has your basic stuff in here, like it's got a warm blanket, tweezers, Q-tips, pads, antibiotic wipes, antiseptic wipes, like, alcohol wipes. Basically your general stuff to field dress a wound, except for tourniquet. I don't have a tourniquet in here. So that's basically what I carry in it. It's pretty light. There's not much to it. I like to keep it light. I know some people carry, like, when they're out in the field, depending on what type of hunting you're doing, they'll keep stuff in their backpack, like iodine tablets for water. They'll take a water, like a bladder bag with them as well to be able to drink water. Some people, which I was taught this growing up, but I don't believe in it because I've never had unsuccess doing it. Some people will take a pee bottle with them and put it in their backpack. The old school where your grandfather told you, boy, don't pee next to the tree, you better pee in a bottle so the deer doesn't get your scent. Maybe at one point in time that was true. I don't know. I know I pee next to my tree or wherever I'm hunting all the time, even at the base of it, and I'll still get a big buck walk underneath me. They won't even think twice about sniffing it half the time. I guess maybe it applied at one point when there was less deer running around, but I haven't had that issue. That's really what I carry in my backpack for the most part. There's nothing else that I really take out. And if you're wondering why I didn't say anything about my license, my hunting license or anything like that, it's because you're supposed to always have your hunting license with you anyway. So I don't need to say it's in my backpack. It's actually usually in a sleeve in one of my jackets. I got multiple of them. Plus in Tennessee, you have your license on your phone. So as long as you can pull up your phone to show your license, don't even matter. Pretty easy setup. Let me know, guys, what you guys have in your hunting setup, especially what you take every day when you're out hunting. This is just whitetail, going to your buddy's farm, going to your private land, going even public land if you're just going for an afternoon sit. I'm not talking about overnight trips. I'm talking about you live 10 minutes down the road from where you're going to hunt. You get up, you go in the stand, you get out at like noon. So that's really my setup. And if you guys like this, please like and subscribe. And I can do a more in-depth one too of what I would take and explain what my setup is if I was going to do an overnight trip. So I could do a video like that if you guys are interested as well. And if you like seeing a lot of this content, I'll keep it coming and look forward to showing you guys more of what's going on. Now, this is pretty funny. I think that buck's right back out. It's a different buck. It's a different 4-point. I think it's the 4-point I saw when I first came in. It's like a baby 6. Let's see if I can get it steady. Oh, it's a baby 6. It's like a baby 6-point. So he sees the other buck. Look at him. It's a little spike. And he's probably going to move right to him. Oh, yeah. Maybe they're bachelored up. Well, that's cool to see those two bucks out there. I thought they were going to fight or something. That's the way they were acting, but still cool to see them out here. So what I got eyes on right now at the top of the field there, that's another buck up there. I'm trying to zoom in on it and see what kind it is, but it looks like it's just a spike. He might just be a spike. But I'm like, he's by himself up there. I'm pretty sure it's just a spike. But it was just a deer by itself. And I'm like, usually at this time of year, if a deer is by itself, it's usually a buck. I had to put my glasses back on because I couldn't see. I mean, these bucks, they don't care right now. They're just hanging out around here. They don't care at all. Okay, that looks like a nice buck up there. Yeah, look at that buck. Look at the rack he has. That looks like a nice one. He could be a shooter. That's a nice buck. Maybe I can walk to, I don't want to spook it, but maybe I can get to the top of the hill and see it. Let's take a little detour to the top of the hill. We're gonna sneak up to the top of this hill here. Holy crap. Look at that buck. Oh, I should have brought my gun. Oh my gosh, look at that buck. That is a nice buck. He's an 8-point. Oh, look at the front. They almost touch. Holy crap, look at that buck. There's 3 there. There's 3 bucks there. There's 3 bucks. Okay, I'm gonna have to sit you guys down. There. That's a buck right there. That's a younger buck. And then I'm pretty sure that's a buck. Can't really see it. Oh, it is a buck. A little spike. Wow. Let's go back to this one. Let's just... So that turned out to be a pretty cool thing to see. I didn't expect that to happen. In fact, I hadn't seen much on camera, but I guess the deer are moving more out in the middle of the fields and not along the fence lines where I usually have my camera set up. That's a pretty nice buck, and tomorrow is going to be interesting. I'm going to go after him tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we can take a shot at him. So he's a nice buck. That'll be all for today. I hope you guys liked it. Obviously, like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.